Tonight's guest is Ebontis. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
The pleasure is all mine, believe me.
We are excited to have you on, and I guess you, up until this point, your community got a little bit of a taste with Ash's promo work. We got to see like a little shaving, a little half of your face.
Mostly shaving tonight, actually.
We are. So tonight we're going to be doing a face reveal, and I don't know. Tell us a little bit before you do that. Tell us a little bit about why you're how you got started streaming. No, like how you got started streaming, and why you chose to go without a face cam this long.
Can you describe your face in great detail? How big are your eyes? How far are they apart? What's the ratio between eyes and nose? Do you have a cleft chin?
Slightly cleft chin.
No, it's
yeah.
Just ignore Briar and
ignore him the whole time. Got it. Okay.
Got it. That's what we do. So what we need. How'd you get into streaming? You tell me.
So streaming and YouTube both started about 3 years ago with honestly following some of you guys who have been streaming forever, just playing at Destiny and everything like that, and just kind of got into content creation for making videos when for Destiny, a lot of the issue is like, hey, there's not matchmaking a lot of things. And sometimes my friends were on, sometimes they weren't. So a lot of the things that I wanted to get into is helping out the solo player with pretty much anything I could. So my goal was to make videos and guides and kind of really break down the nightfalls, things like that, to help people with what they couldn't do. And I didn't want my face on there because, for one, I kind of jumped into it with just, barely, dipping a foot in the water with just making videos, pretty basic stuff, and slowly added things over time. And after a while, I just hadn't done it. And people kept asking and they're like, hey, you ever going to do a face reveal? It was like some big milestone, I might do it. And then in September, I had a video on my YouTube channel for me go crazy. It's almost at 1 million views and shot up and kind of hit a point where I was like, okay, it seems like a good time to finally put it on there. I've been streaming more recently and been having a lot of fun. I see why you guys do it a lot more because I hadn't done it that much, but just streaming, hanging out with your community, just having the chats with them. You meet some awesome people. Shout out to everybody who just hangs out on my Twitch. They're really, really cool. And just one of those points, it's just the face reactions, which I can only imagine some of the memes somebody might make of me if I just a song comes on and just start like air drumming or anything like that. It's just going to be ridiculous. So just kind of figured I'd actually chat with them with a face instead.
Taste of that tonight?
Taste of the air drumming? Yeah. We might be able to.
Yeah. Air drum?
I'm up for some air drumming.
Music queued up, right?
Yeah,
copyright.
Air drumming, or just like, or just the face bouncing around, whatever. It's like, I don't know. My wife, shout out to her as well. Like I got her a shirt, and it's literally like a can or like a jar of jam. It's got headphones on it, and it says "jammin'." Because she's a dancer, and she always is like, if music comes on, she's always just bopping, and she can even be sitting in the car and just like moving from like the waist up, and she just still looks like a better dancer than I'll ever be. So it's not fair.
Apparently, your wife has a lot in common with Briar's wife, who's also a dancer. Apparently.
Boob dancer?
From the waist up, too. I don't know where you're going with that, Pope.
Yeah. The rare art of boob dancing?
Oh, no.
She's got skills. She's got skills. I don't know. I mean, we got to find out that Briar's wife is very talented. And so that's where your wife and her wife are in common. They're talented.
Absolutely. Sorry. But not in the same ways, it sounds like.
Not in the same way, but you both have similar talented spouses.
Yep. So just all that stuff. But I know when like music comes on. So currently for work, I'm actually a fitness kickboxing instructor, and music's going the whole time. So I'll be the goofy. I'm about 10 years older than the rest of the instructors, but I'm still just like the ridiculous guy who's jamming with the music and dancing around while the rounds are going on. So I just like that a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
So
that's really cool.
Nice.
So kickboxing is a sport, or is it a combat?
So this is not combat. This is more fitness related that I do. So I'm not trained in Muay Thai by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I'm not going to go try and get in a fight. I might be able to throw a decent kick or punch, but somebody trained would absolutely whoop my butt.
So we're having Mesa Sean on in a few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything.
And Pope is going to fight him live on air. It's going to be epic.
Right.
It's going to be cool.
It's going to be live. Do you have any advice?
Money on a second round Pope knockout?
Do you have any advice for Mr. Sean on how he can improve his Muay Thai? I know he's always trying to learn and get better.
Probably one of the biggest things is get your hips into it, because all your power is in your hips, not where you think
I feel like that's good advice for almost anything. Yeah.
Probably true. Yeah, that works on a lot of levels. But
the power's in the hips, guys.
When is that not good advice?
Powers in the hips.
When is that not good advice?
You know, you get a good achievement or something, always accompany it with a good hip thrust, right?
That's true.
Yeah. It's like, look
Just
at
like
that
that.
nose scope.
Please do that
Bam,
again.
you know, like yeah.
I mean, does everybody do their hip thrust the same, or do you do both like that, or like?
If you got the hand up in the air, I think it's not just a hip thrust. That hand may be coming down on something, so we're leading somewhere else.
It's dropping the base. That's what the hand's
Yeah,
doing.
it's dropping the base. All right. Well, you started out in YouTube.
Yep.
You're doing some Twitch. Which platform do you? They're different, obviously, but which one do you feel you enjoy more, or are more comfortable with?
Man, it's totally different. Like on Twitch, it's kind of the interaction where you have like the live feedback. I mean, especially when you're doing PvE type stuff, it's the deaths and just like the kind of the commiseration with your team, like the people who are watching and stuff. And then on the other side, when I'm making videos, it's some of the comments I see and some of the really cool ones. And this is just some of the stuff you guys do. Just when you reach out to somebody and it's like, hey, me and my 2 kids watch your videos. And that's one thing, just little stuff like that, why I try and keep mine clean. Just because like those, absolutely. But it's just the little things like, hey, I had never soloed at Nightball before, but thanks to your guides, really helped me out, and I was able to do that. So those are the really cool things I get on the comments, which are really cool to hear, and those are the reason I do those. In Twitch, it's just fun to actually chat with people live and just kind of see the mix going on right there. So both are cool, just very different.
One of the things that I appreciate about your videos, for me, as somebody who listens to them to get through an activity, that I'm that guy who doesn't, sits down to play and realizes he doesn't know what the hell he's doing in whatever activity I'm trying to do. So I quickly bring up my computer and search it. And there's
that's what chat is for. To tell me what to do.
That's what chat's for. Yeah,
I've become so lazy now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
guys, I can't figure it out.
There's a video for that.
One of the channels I check out is yours. I feel like you have a really soothing way of going through an activity, and I feel like your instructions and are easy to follow. I really appreciate that. Do you spend a lot of time on editing your videos or writing a script? How do you get them? What is the process you go to making a video or a guide?
So I mean, shout out to a couple ones in D1 especially that I remember spending lots of time on, and a lot of it is, I mean, there's edits and cuts, but a lot of mine is the commentary actually live while I make the video. Literally in the moment while I'm playing, I'm actually doing it live. So a lot of it is either takes, just doing it multiple times over, and just actually practice of knowing where things are at. I mean, I remember the Shield Brothers when I would figure out it took, 180,000 damage to send the first guy out of the room, turn around these guys. I would get to a point where I'd memorize the activity so I could actually explain what to do, when, and where. And that would really help me know just in that calm voice, okay, shoot him here, turn here, and try and actually let everybody know what's coming and when. So the live commentary is one of those things for me that I've tried to stick with. And it may take me 10 tries to do it, so saying it over and over may not be the same. But I like the live in the moment, because then people are like, how are you calm doing this ridiculous thing? It's because I've done it a lot. So it's usually a lot of takes and practice to get there.
Absolutely.
So you're not just like banging it out the first time, super easy for you.
No, absolutely. And that's when there's times too that people appreciate. I'll leave the death in the run, and people are like, thank you for showing us that like you're human. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that run through and they're like, it's like, yeah, you can go make something look easy. There's other creators. Shout out to Esoteric. If you guys ever watch him, he's like basically a god. Like some of the stuff he does is crazy, but he doesn't talk in his because he has a different style. And some of the stuff he does, I'm like far beyond me in skill. But I just like to kind of know what's going on, guide everybody through it, and tell somebody that may never think they could do it that they actually can, and show them how.
It's cool.
I like the idea of the live commentary while you're doing it too. That's really interesting.
It's taking some getting used to.
Yeah, doing live comms is extremely difficult, and someone that I lose my train of thought a lot, or I just don't feel like talking. I basically have to write a script. Or else most of my thoughts are just going to fucking go out the window. So props to you and those that can actually pull off live comm videos well enough to do that.
And it is great. They're a great resource. If you haven't checked out Ebontis' YouTube channel, we're going to have links in the description below. He does some great work, and we're really thankful that you're on the show tonight because we have a lot to talk about in Destiny Land. Yes. There's obviously the season of the Drifter is now upon us. We've had a chance to jump into Gambit Prime and the Reckoning. Tefty, you look like you have something you want to say.
I was like, do you want to get my face up there?
Yeah, I was going to say, are we moving
on?
We
need to do a mighty face reveal here, Pope.
I'm getting there.
Okay. Because I was concerned.
No, Tef's like got this giant question mark plastered on his face. It's like, hello.
It's fine. Let's just do it live. Let's just.
Excuse me. Cool. I mean, are we supposed to be face reveal here?
Was going to let him do it at his own time, his own pace, just.
It's not going to do it right in the middle of a Game Prime discussion.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Like,
be like, bam, there I am.
Be like, these drop rates. By the way, my face. Boom.
I apologize. I mean,
speaking of dropping things, face drop.
It's important for our guests to have some control over their, face.
I completely disagree.
All right,
look where that got
been
you
outvoted, man.
Unbelievable, right?
No, but yeah. For all those who are wondering,
over my ass.
A little bit, but you did get it tattooed, so less control. So, but yeah, to everybody out there, I'm just a dude. So, hello.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey.
My goodness. Welcome. Yay. Welcome, face.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's a face to the cheetah. So, indeed.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. I know you've got a great community that hangs out that watches your videos and hangs out in your Twitch, and we're thankful to have your opinions on the show tonight.